Hi guys, and welcome back to the Groom of Gallagher Mansion. The life flower. The life flowers, they're so delicate. Looking compared to the others, I think they'll make a perfect understated centerpiece.
I see. They may be delicate, but they're passionate. Lyre flowers, also known as bleeding hearts, lady in a bath, or even Venus's car, are flowers representative of a kind soul.
See, they're perfect.
And what other perfect petals may we pick for this bouquet? There are many accoutrements to select from. I trust you to choose well.
Let me see. My hand gravitates towards a bunch of simple white flowers to go with the life flowers, while ignoring Taylor Chowder's whining over the earpiece.
Ah, white poppies. They live in the realm of dreams, and kindness, and consolation.
More white. White roses, something simple and basic.
Flowers of purity, reverence, secrecy.
Okay. My instincts led me to a handful of tiny little purple pinpoints of petals. For an accent, I suppose.
The stone crops are tranquil, serene. A cure for a broken heart.
Good choices so far? A frown tinges Elias's lips.
Yes.
You sound unsure. Not just unsure, but almost on the verge of a panic attack. Though that probably isn't a good thing to say to him.
They're very familiar choices to me. And perhaps familiar to you. What bouquet did you carry to the altar before?
He looks at me sternly, brows furrowed in concern.
Crap! Didn't think he'd actually ask that. Make something up!
Truthfully, I can barely recall. They weren't picked by me. I can only remember a haze of blues and pinks through the tears.
I'm so sorry. Perhaps that was too much for you at this moment. But I do think you are being hasty. The flowers are lovely together, but the lyre flowers are so dominant. A little too passionate.
Let me choose one more, as a proper compliment.
Please do, and take your time. Nothing will hurt you here. I will make sure of that.
Uh-huh, sure you will.
I look over the flowers as slowly as I can, hoping that I can find one that Elias won't freak out over. God, who thought picking flowers would be so stressful? I'm also just choosing what looks aesthetically pleasing, perhaps something with heavy contrast. Here's something, deep blue and sharp. I think this will have to do. This flower, if you don't mind.
Hey, what's going on?
Did we pick something wrong? Maybe not, dear?
I'm getting static again! The hell?
You can say no.
Violet.
Hey, status report! You're cutting out again!
Something crashes to the ground and shatters like a meteorite, striking the mansion, and a spotlight shines in my regretful face. And the sun is out? The sharp rays of light beam through the greenhouse glass, and all I can see is a haze. Something is very wrong. Movement, shadows, outside a window. Dare I to look? I have to look. An archway, a gazebo, backing in the blazing sun, a lush garden with the promise of life, sickeningly sweet scents hanging in the air. She brushes past me like I'm not there. Who is she? Who is she? Elias knows. Elias must know. Violet? She walks between the shadows cast by the trees, through the arch under the gazebo. And she's still here beside me. Even so far away, she's still here. The wind catches her sun hat, while the sun hits a single point in her bosom, reflecting right into my eyes. Violet's gown, Violet's trail, they stretch into a past that refuses to be forgotten. I look for Elias, wonder why I can't see him, and call his name to the sea of green shrubbery. The garden cannot be asked to care. Violet turns her head towards the interrupter. I see. Elias crumbles towards the ground. Now thinking I tried to catch him in my arms to keep him from collapsing, well, as much as one can keep a ghost from collapsing, at least. I didn't know I could catch you like that. Nothing remains beside myself, Elias, in the greenhouse. The day is gone, the garden outside is gone, and Violet too is gone.
Hey! Hey! Are you there?
Taylor's worried voice buzzes in my ear.
Everything went static for a minute.
Elias, I didn't mean to do anything that would hurt you.
No, you didn't. I left the flowers there after all. You chose fairly, and you made a beautiful bouquet. I apologize for worrying you.
Elias, go lay down, please. I'll redo the bouquet.
I assure you that won't be necessary, but thank you. I should clean this up.
We'll clean up together. We work in a tense silence to tidy the greenhouse. I'm worried about Elias, though I wonder what sort of exhaustion ghosts can feel.
My gratitude to you. I'm afraid I must take a moment to gather my wits before I look for my grandmother's recipes.
Do you want me to accompany you?
I'm flattered, but a bit of privacy would be appreciated.
I understand. May I look around the manor while I wait? Elias stares past me, not answering for a moment.
You may, so long as you stay on the ground floor. And please, excuse the state of disarray the rooms may be in.
He bows and I return the gesture. Not long after, he phases through a wall, leaving me alone in the greenhouse.
Okay, you alone? Who was that woman?
You heard something?
I heard someone whispering through all the static. A woman, I think. Didn't sound like anyone I recognize.
I think I met Violet DuPont.
Is her spirit there too?
I was like a vision, I think. I don't know, just let me catch my breath.
Yeah, take your time.
My steps feel heavy as I return to the hallway. I wasn't expecting floral arrangements to be that intense.
Hey, are you doing all right now?
I'll live.
Might be time to see what you can get up to before your rendezvous with Elias.
I nod my head as if Taylor can somehow see me through the earpiece. So we are going to return to the study. We've seen what happens there. Seems that Elias was always the black sheep of the family just because his health was poor, which is bizarre, but not surprising, because the way they treated him. So...
Not
yeah.
a bad plan. Archibald Gallagher made his office in that study, so he talked business deals there.
It's time to choose the necklace. The necklace is heavy in my hands as I gently pick it up. Boy, but I could pay off all my student loans and then some with this thing. I study it closer. It almost looks familiar.
Do you like it?
I do, but I think I've seen this before. Maybe from an old picture? Elias tilts his head.
It was one of my mother's favorite pieces in this collection. It's also the most expensive.
Oh. As he says this, it suddenly becomes even more heavy in my hands.
Here, allow me.
Elias takes the necklace and moves behind me. Could you tell me more about yourself, Elias? I'm curious to know as much as I can about my groom.
Of course.
His hands are cold against my skin as he slides the jewelry around my neck. He collapses shut, hands lingering for a moment on my skin. He gives a tired sigh before speaking, a hint of melancholy lingering on his lips.
I must confess that I was born quite sickly, and my birth came with so many complications that it nearly killed my mother. Even after that ordeal, there was nothing the doctors could do to help my weak constitution. I suppose that's why my father and siblings treated me the way they did. I was seen as a nuisance, a problem. I don't entirely blame them.
I'm sorry.
It's far away and in the past now, so enough about that.
Elias moves back around to look at me, cold, ghostly hand trailing along my cheek. The sadness from his voice has all but disappeared.
Marvelous. The necklace fits you perfectly.
I held my head up to get a clear view of it in the mirror. It certainly is gorgeous, but I know I can get more information out of Elias if I play my cards right. I'm certain this necklace must bestow infinite beauty upon its wearer. Surely you've seen others don it before.
As I mentioned, this was my mother's favorite piece. It graced her neck quite frequently.
And what of your previous bride to be? Did she not wear this as well?
My previous bride.
A smile slips from his lips, and his eyes go hazy. I brace myself for another vision. I feel bad. I know it's unpleasant for Elias as much as it is for me, but he's a key witness to the mystery of this manor, his whole life and death, as a matter of fact. The silence stretches on for what feels like forever. Elias's face is completely blank, devoid of any emotion. Elias, dearest, I mean no offense. Elias grips my shoulders, his fingers phasing through my skin, causing a shiver.
Her name was Violet, Violet DuPont, the sister of our groundskeeper. We never wed because she betrayed me the day before our wedding. I suppose she and Gerard were desperate. I should have been on my guard when they continued to ask me about the location of the family jewels day after day.
Yeah, you really should have.
I thought the necklace, the grandest piece in the collection, would have been enough to hold her interest. I had promised to share the rest of them with her after our consummation. But before I could even cry out for help, Gerard held me down while Violet...
I put my hand over Elias in an attempt to show him that I don't need to hear anything else. Forgive me, Elias. We don't need to speak of her anymore. Elias' grip on my shoulder eases, and he gives me a sad smile.
No, you needn't apologize whatsoever. There's no need for me to reminisce, and you shouldn't have to compare yourself to her.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be compared to your murderer. At least that's what I like to say. And I want to stop, but I need to know the truth straight from the horse's mouth. Tell me about the things that brought joy to your life. You have a fine eye for beauty, Elias. I'm sure there were other items you held precious and dear.
You've seen the greenhouse already, so you can imagine its splendor in full bloom. I quite liked reading on the bench there when my energy permitted. It was quite difficult to visit in a consistent manner, however, so I often had flowers brought up so that I could enjoy the fragrant floral bouquets in the comfort of my room.
Elias leaves my side momentarily to grab an ornate box from the vanity.
Aside from the flowers, there was also a family heirloom that belonged to my grandmother. It was an antique silver mirror, and a very charming one at that. At least...
I lean forward as he opens the box, and I peer into its contents.
That was... before it shattered.
Elias does still have the mirror pieces.
I liked it quite a lot, and ended up taking it out of the attic in my early childhood. I used to look into it and imagine myself as some sort of fair prince. It was innocent daydreaming, but alas, my 6 older siblings would often mock my love of the mirror. And with such a weak constitution and gentle demeanor, there was little I could do. When 6 people who aren't very fond of you get physical, well, you can imagine what might happen. The mirror was shattered, and I was the one blamed.
Of course, they will do that. He gently closes the box and pauses.
Grandmother didn't seem to mind that it broke, but I cried for days.
Oh, she was still alive.
Maybe it was sentimentality, guilt, or fear. But whatever the case, I simply could not let it go. I forbade any of the maids or butlers to toss out the shards. The mirror was meant to be a wedding gift, and I was determined to have it fixed one day.
It seems like that day never came.
Yes, it was one of my greatest regrets when I died, silly as it sounds.
I don't think it's silly at all. That mirror was important to you, and you held on to it all this time. I think it's admirable. Not to mention, that mirror could very likely be the source of the Gallagher curse, but does Elias know that?
Thank you for understanding, my dear.
That's right, the mirror is silver too. The melancholy atmosphere in the room fades as he smiles warmly at me.
I am quite eager for our union. I think it'll be something glorious. I've always wanted a grand wedding, and to think I'll be marrying someone as lovely as you.
Well, you are too kind, Elias.
Come, follow me outside. I have much to show you.
We exit his bedroom together and go down the stairs one last time, my new accessory adding weight to my every step.
Soon we shall be wed, my darling, and we'll have all of eternity together. Are you excited?
Yes. Elias sure seems to be. I don't have to answer that, whether I should be sincere and tell him the truth or continue the charade. The truth behind the so-called Gallagher curse wasn't some smaller business exacting revenge on the family, or Elias pulling puppet strings in order to make himself the sole heir. No, the Gallagher bloodline probably met its end because that antique mirror shattered when Elias was a child. He said that mirror was meant to be a wedding gift. Has the curse ended, or will I die too? The thought makes me shudder.
My love, what's on your mind?
And nothing, I really am a bad actor in the end. With everything that has happened, is about to happen, I must be feeling the range of human emotion right now, my beloved. Nervous, excited, and so full of dread. There it is. The truth is out. I suppose it had to happen sometime. If Elias could sink into the center of the earth, he probably would. The only thing keeping him afloat was some sense of decorum.
But not all of this was a lie, was it? Your demeanor changed as we spent time together. You got to know me. You learned about the real me. And I think your heart opened.
Oh no, come on, don't do this! I get that you're lonely, but you're completely missing the point here!
He's so mean to him.
Taylor, please. Where we go from here is up to them to decide.
Elias, first, I have a question for you.
Then I shall do my best to answer.
Do you know what caused the curse behind the death of your family?
I do not. No. None of the deaths were connected, at least not to my knowledge. And contrary to popular belief, I did not orchestrate those accidents. I'm not a cruel person, and I hope you can at least attest to that after tonight.
I never said that you were, Elias, but Taylor and I had some theories.
We did?
I elbow him in the side and roll my eyes. Elias, I saw glimpses into your past tonight, whips of memory that allow me to feel your emotions. And two things stood out to me. The first was Violet, and how uneasy you felt whenever she was around. Memories involving her would leave me disoriented and scared for my life. The second was you yourself, talking about the shattered mirror with your father. With the mention of the mirror, both of the men fixed their posture. I felt your frustration, like I was suffocating. I hated it. Breaking a mirror is bad luck in a lot of cultures. When you showed me the shards in your room, you told me that all of your siblings blamed you for shattering it.
Yes. I was simply admiring myself in the mirror's reflection when they came to snatch it out of my hands. I tried to keep it safe, as it belonged to my grandmother, but...
6 versus 1 isn't very fair. And your parents probably didn't side with you on this, did they?
Elias shakes his head, and the gear is turning in his brain. In addition, that mirror was meant to be a wedding gift, wasn't it? It was never gifted to any of your sibling spouses because it was broken, and your father didn't bother to repair it.
So then, the curse...
Now that's the curse. I think your strong feelings towards that mirror inadvertently caused your family to become cursed. Well, they did that. They did that to themselves. Because why would they do that? Why would they gang up on him and bully him? That, does that make sense, right, Taylor?
Yeah, I guess that's enough of an explanation as any.
Yeah.
Then even my own death at the hands of the DuPonts was part of the curse's doing, just as I thought.
Yeah, that sucks.
Actually, if we go by their explanation, I don't think Violet DuPont jamming a dagger into your neck was because of the curse. You two technically weren't even married yet, and that whole stabbity-stab thing was a textbook example of premeditated murder.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the opposite of a fatal accident? You were so desperate for love that you ignored your gut instinct about something feeling off with Violet the entire time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Elias looks down at his hands, then at the floor, despondent and on the brink of tears.
I see. So if I were to carry on with the wedding and marry them, then they too would die of the curse.
But we just need to fix the mirror. But it will cost a lot of money.
If that's the case, then I'll never have my wedding. Even in death.
Groom is silent as Elias reaches this realization. I feel so bad, but I don't want to die for his sake.
Hang on. I think I have an idea.
About what?
If we're right about the mirror needing to fulfill its purpose as a wedding gift, then all Elias needs to do is give you the mirror after the ceremony.
I'm sorry? I gawk at Taylor in a sudden change of heart. I thought he didn't want me to marry Elias.
Elias, I'm really sorry for shouting at you when I burst in. I was venting about a lot of personal stuff that doesn't remotely involve you, and you didn't deserve that. And Bud, I never should have forced your hand into doing the field mission for me. At the very least, I should have come sooner to provide backup.
Oh, yeah.
But if you two trust me on this, and you're willing to try, everyone can have their happy ending. At least, I'm like 95% sure this will work.
But weren't you opposed to our union?
Maybe they did get to know you better tonight. I shouldn't tell them what decision to make. So, as you said, let them decide.
Alright. They both looked at me expectantly. Elias, I love you as much as I could ever love a friend. He's not happy about that. It may not be the love you crave, but if you'll still have me, if it helps to break the curse to finally free your soul, I will accept your hand. My ruined face alights with a sad smile.
Yes. I suppose your hand in marriage is all that I had asked of you when we first met. And so, I graciously accept this arrangement.
Yay! We both returned to face Taylor.
Do you take Elias Gallagher to be your lawfully wedded husband, to live together in matrimony, to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and in health, in sorrow and in joy, to have and to hold, from this day forward, as long as you both shall exist on this plane of existence?
I do.
And do you, Elias, take them to be your lawfully wedded, yada yada, etc., as long as you both shall exist on this plane of existence?
Elias shoots Taylor a disappointed look for ruining the mood, sighing.
I do.
By the authority vested in me as the official president of the Occult History and Sciences Investigation Club, I now pronounce you married!
Yay! Taylor erupts into an applause that echoes throughout the ballroom, accentuated by leftover spirits Elias has summoned, while the man himself kisses me swiftly on the cheek.
And now, my dear, all that I possess in my mortal years belongs to you.
It does?
Yes. Please come with me to the study. Quickly now.
Before you die. We all quickly exit the ballroom and follow Elias' lead to the study. Taylor lags behind a bit, but I pull up on his sleeve before he falls behind and gets lost wandering the halls of the manor. Elias pulls out a paper from the drawer and claps his hands together, causing it to glow with a ghostly light.
Here we are. My will, freshly written. With this, the mirror has been transferred into your possession, my beloved.
Taylor and I scan the document.
I, Elias Gallagher, former head of the Gallagher Estate, hereby leave all my material possessions, including the Gallagher family jewels and the manor itself, to my beloved partner. I mean, a will written by a ghost would never hold up in court, but for the sake of breaking the curse, I think this should work.
I hope it will work.
It will.
Elias floats away from us with a complacent smile on his face.
My wish for a wedding of my own has finally been fulfilled. And now, it is time for me to depart from this world.
Are you sure? But we just met. I never got the chance to really know you, and... He holds a hand up to me to stop me.
I am an ancient relic of decades long since past. A memory of a life tethered to this land. But now that I am married to you, I am free.
Elias casts a sideways glance at Taylor.
Mr. Taylor Potts,
Yeah?
take good care of them in my stead. If you make them sad,
Elias' lips break into a sly smile.
I may come back to haunt you.
I plan on it. The, taking care of them part. Please don't haunt me.
Okay. Elias chuckles.
Very well.
Elias takes my hand one last time.
Live and prosper where I could not. Farewell, my love. May we meet again in heaven.
He still thinks he's cheesy. Goodbye, Elias Gallagher. Thank you for everything. With a final bow, Elias slowly fades from the room.
So, is your last name really gonna be Gallagher now?
Taylor, why do you always kill the mood? After a full 24 hours of uninterrupted sleep, Taylor looked up whether my surname actually was legally going to be Gallagher now. Turns out, if both spouses don't sign a marriage certificate, you can't be legally wed. Not in this day and age, so the last name thing doesn't actually matter in the long run. Hopefully Elias wasn't going to be too mad about that. After doctoring the will a bit, he laid claim to the fortunes. How do you do that? Wow. We laid claims to the fortunes left in the Gallagher mansion, and as it turns out, they kept more than just the family jewels in there.
Holy cannoli, we're rich!
I'm rich. I'm just redistributing the wealth to you.
Who cares about the details? We can repair the entire mansion and, actually live in it! And then we don't have to pay rent!
Living in a mansion means that you have to maintain it, so I wouldn't want to live there. That's very true, actually. Damn, maybe I should marry my ghost and inherit their estates. While we were so caught up in legal matters that we forgot to recruit members for the SIC, Tara and I will go on to clear Elias' name of any wrongdoing in the local legends. It only felt right after all he did for us. And so we spent a small fraction of my new fortune repairing the mansion and the antique mirror to its former glory. Spent the rest of our college days rent-free. Now that is truly a happy ending. Ending A for the truth. Hey, so the truth of it all was that the mirror was broken. The mirror was the one that cursed them. And the silver mirror, no doubt. Because the silver mirror, in a lot of cultures, has to do with, I don't know what it is with mirrors. I guess with mirrors, being, a world to another dimension, I guess. It has that supernatural aspect to it, so maybe through, maybe the grandma's will itself, it just cursed the siblings for their part and breaking the mirror. And Elias he ignored his gut feelings because he was so desperate to be loved. All Elias wanted to do was just be loved in the end. And he got his ending. He got his wedding in the end. So, that was the end of ending A for the truth. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye!